Your contract with your caterer for your wedding says payment due if weather is sunny, but it rains cats and dogs. Do you still owe the money? Hi, I'm Michael Dorff, and I'm the Executive Director of the Low Milken Institute for Business Law and Policy here at UCLA School of Law. And the next few minutes, I'll explain how contractual conditions can excuse contractual performance and prevent bad outcomes. First, we have to talk about three different kinds of condition. Condition precedent, condition subsequent, and condition concurrent. And then all three of those types can either be express or implied. Sounds like a lot, but you'll see it's actually pretty simple. First, conditions precedent. This is something that has to happen before performance becomes due. So for example, I'll buy your house if I get financing approval. If I don't get financing approval, I don't have to buy the house. That performance is excused by the failure of the condition. Or the wedding caterer. I have to pay for the wedding caterer only if the weather is good. If the weather is terrible, I don't have to pay. Condition subsequent is something that occurs after contractual performance has already begun that cancels further performance under the contract. So for example, I have to make you monthly payments unless I lose my job. I'm making the monthly payments for a while, but then if I lose my job, I no longer have to make further monthly payments. I don't get the old ones back, but I don't have to make any new ones. Or in an insurance contract, the insurance contract could say, we'll cover you unless and until you commit fraud. If I then commit fraud, the insurer no longer has to cover me. Then we have condition concurrent. This is when both sides have to perform simultaneously, or at least tender performance, offer performance simultaneously, or else return performance isn't due. So I'll pay you when you deliver the goods. If the other side doesn't tender the goods, show up with the goods ready to perform, I don't have to pay. If I don't show up with the money ready to pay, they don't have to deliver. That's a condition concurrent. And all of these different types of conditions can be either express or implied. Express means there's actual language in the contract that says this is a condition. Implied means the courts assume based on the circumstances that this is what the parties meant, that they meant for there to be a condition. For example, an opera house hires an opera singer to sing for a large fee, but then the opera house burns down. It's an implied condition, precedent in this case, that the opera house continue to exist for the opera house to have an obligation to pay the opera singer. Since the opera house doesn't exist, the opera house is no longer obligated to pay the singer. In summary, conditions protect you from having to perform when conditions have changed. What conditions would you want in your next major contract? Comment below and follow for contract law that actually makes sense.